shaved heads, eyebrows, genitalia mutilations.
Guys, we are back with another transfer Q&A because you have asked the questions and we will hopefully have the answers. As usual, me and Paddy are here to sit and discuss all the latest rumours, whether or not it happened and who is going to end up where. So, thanks for joining. I think we'll get straight onto it.
Absolutely. So I'll take the first question, Matt, with some quick fire links from players to clubs.
Hit me.
And this is from the user MAF. So first of all, Isco to Spurs.
Now, I'd love to see it, but
yeah,
he's a league above.
Yeah. Well, maybe not that, but I just don't see him going to Spurs anytime soon, in any case. Next one, Eriksen to Real Madrid. Maybe some sort of swap, but...
No, because Levy whacked a 225 million pound price tag. No one's going to pay that.
So nothing's happening at Spurs again, basically.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
It's going to be a routine.
Godin to Inter.
Yes. It looks like he want to leave. He didn't sign an extension with Atletico and he runs out in the summer. I think to test himself in the league, I can see that happening.
I think also there's a good link between these two clubs that they often make these sort of transfers.
Didn't Miranda do
exactly,
it? Am I thinking?
Exactly right, yeah. So I can see this happening again too. Yeah. Okay, next one, Under to Arsenal.
Depending on whether they sign Carrasco or not. I feel like Carrasco would be the cheaper option.
Wages?
Wages, yeah, he would actually be more expensive that way. I see it easier to price someone away from a Chinese club than from Roma.
Makes sense. And the last one, and we'll talk about this guy a couple of times in the show, Dybala to Man City.
Yes, I can see that happening. Within the next few years, maybe not this transfer window, with Aguero still doing an amazing job, still in his early 30s, natural replacement. Don't think Jesus is up to the task.
Fair enough. Okay, well, your turn now.
So, right, we'll go for you. This is from Isa Mohammed, so thank you very much. Again, with some quick fire ones. Hudson-Odoi to Bayern.
Looks pretty likely now. Bayern have said publicly on the record when they announced Pavard yesterday that they are interested in Hudson-Odoi. I don't see why they won't get in there.
Now or summer?
I would say probably summer, but it sounds like Bayern, if they could get the deal over the line, would rather in this winter.
Okay, fair enough. And Timo Werner to Bayern.
Yeah, everyone's to Bayern at the moment. There's going through obviously a bit of a refresh of the list. I think Werner, again, he's only got one season left after this one.
Yeah.
I don't think it definitely won't happen in winter. That might come back and haunt me, but won't happen in winter. But I would honestly see it could happen in summer for sure.
And Paulo Dybala to Bayern. I feel like this is intertwined whether or not they sign Werner.
What was this guy's name?
This is Isa Mohammed.
Get the sense he's a Bayern fan.
Yeah, obviously.
I don't see this happening. We'll talk again about Dybala a bit more, but I actually think that Juve are definitely going to hold on to their star as long as they can, and I don't see him going anywhere.
That's fair enough.
Next question from David, and I'm going to butcher this, sorry, Kavicia. Apologies if you want to comment
legit.
back. Yeah, give me some phonetic some phonetic help there. But now that Hazard has said he wants to be at Chelsea, who can Real Madrid sign to replace Ronaldo?
Well, this is the thing. I don't think Hazard was the replacement for Ronaldo. Hazard doesn't bring the goals that Ronaldo does. If they're signing someone else apart from Hazard, I think they'll be signing an attacking midfielder. But if they're signing someone to replace Ronaldo's goals, then obviously a striker. I'd say Icardi.
Back to your first point, though. I mean, who does score as many goals as Ronaldo?
No one, but Hazard's nowhere near Ronaldo's level in terms of goals.
That's for sure, but do you think they're actually going to try and replace like for like?
Well, this is the thing.
If you're Real Madrid, would you?
If I was Real Madrid, yes, I'd replace the goals.
Yeah.
You can sign a good attacking midfielder who would create the chances, and I don't actually think it's a problem with chances. I think if you sign a goal scorer, it takes the pressure off Bale and he can go back to being an attacking midfielder. It takes Benzema out of the equation, and they've got creative players. It's just the goal scoring.
Yeah, I actually think, I agree with you, but I think that more likely to be than Icardi, more likely to be either Mbappe or Neymar.
True. Again, even with, I'd agree with Mbappe. I think he can go on to be one of the best strikers that ever played. I think even with Neymar, it's the same situation though.
I think in that team, he can both create and score, which is exactly what Ronaldo did at Real Madrid.
That's true. I mean, yeah, you've stated the obvious that replacing Ronaldo is by no means a menial task for anybody.
Definitely not.
Yeah, I think a goal scorer they should go for rather than replacing a winger.
Fair enough.
But if they get both in Neymar, fair play to them. The next one from Der Mainzer Daniel. I'm going to guess who he supports with Mainz. Could Dybala really leave Juve for Manchester United?
So I mentioned this before. I mean, we've already linked him with Bayern, Man City, and now Man United in this video, and we're only a few minutes in, of course. I actually think that he's going nowhere. Dybala is the player that they will build this team around, Juventus, for the next couple of years, I believe. I think probably this year he's had a bit of a, I guess, off and on patch, you know, because he's probably taken on a lot and played a lot of football over the past couple of seasons. But I've no doubt that Juve see him as the jewel in the crown, even with Ronaldo there for the short term, that I don't think they're going to let him go anyway.
That's what I feel like is a bit stunted because of Ronaldo.
I think there's a lot that he can learn under it too, you know, and it's probably good that he can move around that front third a little bit more, and I think eventually he will step into that Ronaldo position where he has that freedom.
I just don't see him reaching the Ronaldo or Messi level though.
Fair play. I mean, what were they doing at his age? They were probably already dominating, at the top of their, top of the level, at the peak of the game. He's not quite there. That doesn't mean he can't be a sensational player either.
That's true. Yeah. Again, replacing Ronaldo and Messi and reaching their level is not easy.
Exactly. And we also know that Juve love to have these players that go through the years, through the seasons, through the generations. And I do believe that Dybala is going to be the player that they want to centre that team around for some seasons to come.
Yeah, I think it would take a ridiculous fee for him.
Huge.
However, I do think he'd be tempted. I'm just saying, I think
how much? How much would it take for Juve?
For Juventus, I think 90, 100 million.
I would say 100 plus for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
I think the older he gets, obviously a little bit less, but I just don't see his consistency there.
But he's hardly old either. He's still working into the peak of his career, I believe. Yeah. I think it's going to take a lot of money.
We'll see what happens. I think we could see him at City. That's what I'm putting my money on the next few years for Manchester City.
You guys let us know who you agree with here.
The next one from Hudson-Odoi, I think is how you pronounce it. Carrasco to Arsenal, which we mentioned recently, and Denis Suarez to Arsenal.
So I think Carrasco, you mentioned before, probably the more likely, even though it's going to be a massive wage to get him out of this Chinese deal. That being said, it's been clear for a while that he is absolutely not happy in China. I think with Ramsey moving as well, this is a move that potentially makes a bit of sense. They're going to need a bit of experience, a bit of creativity inside that midfield with Ramsey going, and I think that's actually a logical move. Who knows what it's actually going to take to get him across the line. I know there's interest from the continent as well, but I think that wage probably only puts him in a position where...
A small bracket of teams.
Exactly. Only a small amount of teams can afford to land Carrasco, even if the transfer fee itself isn't that high.
Yeah, I can't see it being that high. When a player leaves from China, they often seem to leave for a lot less. With Carrasco, the only problem I think I have with him is that I feel like it brings more imbalance to Arsenal's team. As I said before, he's a winger certainly from what I've seen.
Versatility, I think he can play across that middle as well.
Across the midfield or across the attacking three?
Probably across the top of the midfield or just behind the attacking three.
Okay, because I always feel like when you can't sign one winger, a team has to sign two because you're so imbalanced otherwise. I mean, there's what I've seen, certainly from what I've seen with Iwobi on the left and then someone like Ozil on the right, you have one that cuts in and one that stays wide.
Yeah, I definitely don't consider him an out-and-out winger for sure.
Oh, really?
Someone who can play wide, perhaps a little bit like an Eriksen, to be honest. We haven't seen, obviously, Carrasco in Europe for a while, and who knows exactly what's happened in China there, but I think he has the ability to play pretty much in that Eriksen position. He can go a bit deeper. He's obviously sublimely skilled.
Yeah, absolutely,
Question his decision-making over his career a little bit, but I think he could actually play quite a few roles for the Gunners.
I also think if Ozil then leaves, I'm not quite sure what the situation is there, but the more players that are coming in, it seems that Ozil's close to the edge, that would free up a lot of wage.
100%.
Considering the amount that he's on. Yeah. So
if someone, of course, can afford to take Ozil off Arsenal's hands too.
Yeah, that is very true as well. And Denis Suarez was also the other one in there. I see that as more of a loan.
Yeah, I mean, he's sort of out of favour at Barcelona. He could be a player who could add a bit of versatility as well, again, to that Arsenal squad. Yeah. It makes sense for a Suarez to be someone that they might target. Okay, to the next one, and actually let's go from the pitch to the dugout. Mourinho to Madrid.
I just don't see, I know it's because of this relationship with Florentino Perez. I don't see how that's worth it. What are Madrid looking for?
Great question.
Oh no, of course it's worth it for Mourinho. Yeah. His stock's low and he's been offered a mint job at one of the world's biggest clubs. Of course it's great for him. Yeah. But what do they want?
Well, who knows? I mean, what else though? I mean, sorry, who else would there be out there for Real Madrid? Solari hasn't worked out. They got super lucky that they had a player like Zidane who was as good coach as he was a player for many of the seasons. But not those guys don't grow on trees. In fact, they're very, very rare.
Yeah.
And I really don't see that there's much out there for Madrid that they can trust without having to take a complete leap of faith with.
I feel like with Real Madrid, and certainly with a few clubs that are coming, sort of putting in progression over a few amount of years, Real Madrid are still stuck in this, we can buy success in a year or two. Everyone knows that Mourinho's got a 3-year limit. Right, that is it. He's not there for the long term. He's going to come in with the players that you got and win a title or win a trophy and still the winning mentality. I don't think that's what Real Madrid need. I think they're in transition and they need to have someone building for the long term, like Guardiola does, like anyone at Barcelona would. It's not necessarily the coach who's in the hot seat at the moment, it's the club as a whole. Because that way, I feel it's easier to change. Barcelona have done it. They've been successful for 10 years because no matter who's in the hot seat, they know they're picking the right man to continue the club's philosophy.
That
so
being
no
said,
one's changing so much.
Well, I mean, you make a good point. That being said, it's not like Madrid haven't had success either, even with these turnaround of coaches and of generations and stuff. And as you mentioned, they can go out and buy a new team, basically, or at least key parts of a new team to adapt quickly, much more quickly.
But what I'm saying is, why would you go out and buy a whole new team if you know that it's going to be Mourinho's for like 2 years?
Do they have to, though? They bring Mourinho in, 1 or 2 changes, maybe that's the key for them.
Yeah, okay, could be.
You bring in an Mbappe, you bring in a Neymar, and then bang, not both of them probably, but one or the other, and you might be done.
But then again, I think that's going to help any manager. You don't need to be Mourinho to work better with Neymar and Mbappe.
It's true.
You can bring in me in charge and you're still... This follows on from my series last week saying I do better than Vincent Janssen. So now I do better than Mourinho.
But yes or no,
would
you see him going back there or not?
Yeah, of course. It's an amazing offer for Mourinho.
Cool. All right, great.
I can see it happening for sure. As for the last one we've got here from RK, will Higuain be a success at Chelsea in the Premier League in general?
Well, I mean, Chelsea need a striker. That's completely obvious. Giroud is nothing more than I think a really good squad player. He certainly can't lead them across the length of the season. Chelsea have super ambitions. And Morata, as we've seen, pretty low in confidence. Probably not the player that Chelsea thought they were buying when they could be off as soon as this winter transfer window if someone like Higuain arrives. And I actually think that the relationship that Sarri and Higuain have, it's going to be a pretty decent short-term option for the Blues, if I'm honest. Yeah.
That's what I think in the short term. Yeah. I can't see Higuain sort of getting better and better and leading Chelsea on for years.
He hasn't totally impressed at Milan. He scored a few goals, but definitely hasn't won over their fans. Obviously scored plenty at Juve and plenty at Napoli as well. It's a little bit of a risk because he's no spring chicken anymore. Yeah. That being said, the Sarri link, I think he's going to play his best football under him again, at least as much as he can at this point of his career, and maybe that's good enough for Chelsea.
I think he's just a finisher. I think that's what Sarri needs. If he stays in the box, Higuain will finish chances. Yeah. It all depends if Hazard stays behind him. And with Pulisic joining the team, I think if they can create those chances, Morata would miss them, but there's his own confidence, and Giroud's not that quick, or more of a fox in the box. Yep. So I think he'll be very successful.
Yeah, totally.
I think Higuain bang him in and find the back of the net.
Totally agree. Great. Well, I think that's it for the questions.
That is all
but
for
of course, we should address the elephant in the room, and that's the bet that we mentioned last week. So whether Hazard would still be at Chelsea next summer or not, I say he will be. Matt says he won't be. Now we chatted. We asked you guys to come up with a few ideas on what the punishment of the bet should be, and there were quite a few different ones. I think shaved heads, eyebrows. Genitalia mutilation. We'll probably give that one a miss. We'll probably give all those ones a miss, to be honest. But I think there was actually a really good offer from, and I've got the name here, sorry. There's a really good offer from Drew Summers, who actually says that he works for a company that does ghost pepper chili sauce. And he did offer to send some in. Now, I just want to see, Drew, if you were actually genuine about that. We'd love to get some of that hot sauce on the show. We can even maybe give it a little test just before the summer to make sure that it's hot enough for these purposes. But Drew, if you do see this and you are genuine about this, Matt's already starting to worry a little
sweating
bit.
And not even tasted it yet.
Please get in touch in the comments again, and we'll sort out some sort of communication so we can get maybe some of your hot sauce in the show. We'll give it a plug and maybe give it a test before the summer, because that could be a good way to sort out the result of this bet?
Oh God, yeah. I feel like I'm under pressure already.
You're
I'm still sticking with my guns.
You definitely look more nervous than,
I know.
than me.
Now I'm panicking. Now I'm sweating.
Is it the hot sauce or is it
It's
Hazard?
the hot sauce.
Yeah, okay.
Nothing to do with Hazard. Definitely the hot sauce.
Great.
But yeah, well, get in touch then. I think that is all from us 100%. For now. Of course, guys, make sure you let us know in the comment section down below all of the transfer rumours you've heard. And again, we can put them in next week's show. It doesn't just have to be in our community tab posts. But I think from us, that's everything for now. So make sure you smash the like button and also subscribe if you guys are new around here too for all of our OneFootball content. But until next time, we will see you guys later.
Cheers, guys.